Today we're talking about what to do when you're in an argument with your spouse. And I'm going to share this with you through a very personal story that just happened a few days ago. So over the course of the last week, my husband, unfortunately, like many people around the world, contracted COVID and was struggling through that. So he had taken a test that said that he was negative. His symptoms became worse over the course of the next 2 days. He took another test late at night, and it said that he was positive. So the next day, we became very focused on getting him medication because a lot of the medication, it only works within a certain time frame. So it's important to get the medication early. So we contacted our doctor. She never called us back. I contacted her again. She called us back. This was in the morning. This was about 10:30 in the morning. We did not hear back from the nurse until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She had sent in the prescription. She didn't ask us what pharmacy to send it to. She sent in the prescription to a grocery store pharmacy. I went to go pick it up. They said, we don't carry that medication and we don't know who does. Now this is 4 o'clock on a Friday. So the nurse had left. She went home to her family. She did it right as she was walking out the door, but now it's a weekend and my husband is suffering. So I'm a little bit stressed, let's say. So I go to the pharmacy. They say, we can't fill this prescription. So I go out to my car. I'm Googling who can fill this prescription. And I find out that a drugstore nearby can fill the prescription. The pharmacy that had the prescription couldn't transfer it without the new pharmacy calling them. It was a big cluster. And this is now between 5 and 6 o'clock on a Friday afternoon where everyone's wanting to go home. And I just want to get my husband some relief. Then I go to the new pharmacy. I'm standing there in line. I'm now the first in line. The tech was on the phone with someone and I'm just standing there waiting my turn. The pharmacist was also there. So I'm just standing there waiting and the tech was on the phone with someone. Turns out it was my husband. And I could tell by the conversation that it was him. And she puts my husband on hold. Now she hasn't spoken to me yet, right? I'm still just in line. She puts my husband on hold. And then she says to the pharmacist, how quickly can you have such and such medication together? And he said, I can do it. I can do it in the next hour, but I could give him a shot now. And she just kept asking him. He's like, well, I can give him a shot right now. He was being judgmental, as though there's no possible way that my husband could have contracted that without, if he had had a vaccination, which is not the case. He's been vaccinated, as have I. So I was pretty irritated at that. Keep in mind, because he had been sick and I had been now sleeping on the couch because we were worried about this happening, I hadn't slept well. So I'm stressed. I haven't slept well. And I'm running around town trying to track down stuff because the nurse waited all day to do it. And now the pharmacist is being a jerk to me. So don't you know that then I get into an argument with my husband about something that it makes no sense at all. We were arguing about whether or not the notifications were turned on my phone. That's what we argued about. But we got all upset about it. And I, at the time, thought, well, it's because I'm stressed. I'm worried. I'm doing everything because he can't even leave the house and we're trying to stay away from each other. And I haven't slept well, right? So that's the reason. That's why, I freaked out, whatever, or I got upset, whatever it was. Now, what was going on is that I was scared. So intellectually, I said, oh, I'm tired, I'm stressed. These circumstances in my life, that's why we got into this upset. But once I dropped down into my feelings and I was like, what is it that I'm feeling right now? And what I was feeling is that I was scared. Now, before that argument, I didn't communicate that to my husband. I didn't go to him and say, babe, I'm scared and I'm stressed. What I did is we blew up about notifications on my phone. But this is how we get there, right? Sometimes the things we're arguing about, it's not actually what you're arguing about, because we haven't actually said what's really going on with us, because we're just moving so fast and we're staying up here in our heads. Our heads, our brains want to make sense of what's happening. And so we look for very physical things, tangible things that we can look at and point to and say, yeah, that's clearly what's going on. So next time this happens for you, drop into your feelings and really figure out, what is it that I'm feeling right now? And then express that to your partner, as opposed to of whatever silly thing that isn't even related to what's going on for you is happening. As soon as I did that, as soon as I came back to my husband and said, you know what that was all about is that I was scared. And you know what he said? That's okay. I'm scared too. Like, then it's a moment of connection. When you start sharing how you really feel, now you can connect and get closer, as opposed to going further apart. So try it. Next time you get into some stupid little argument with your spouse, drop into your feelings, figure out how you feel, express it to your partner. If they're in that marriage with you, they are not going to say, well, that's stupid, you shouldn't feel that way. If it's genuine, they will receive it with the compassion that it should be received with. All right. If you would like to explore if there's a fit for you and I to work together so that you can either overcome those challenges in your marriage and begin to show up in a new way inside your relationship, or realize that the relationship can't evolve to a new place and it's time to lovingly release it, I would love for you to explore whether or not there is a fit for you and I to work together so that I can help you. You can go to clarityformymarriage.com. If you like what you hear on this channel, I hope you'll subscribe. And if you would like to be notified every time we post a new video, just click the icon in the upper left corner at the end of this video. Take good care.